Alright. Top right side, there he is. The Shopify rebellious Terran player in the blue. It is Byun. It's a double A stream in your opinion. I guess you're right. Bottom left side, there's the Psy Storm Gaming's extraordinary Terran in the red. It is Gumiho. Trying to follow along in the tracks of Byun here, perhaps a little bit. Not necessarily with the Proxy Rex, but also after coming back of military service. Trying to, you know, be the best around once again. Similar to what Byun is doing here. And, well, things are going to get interesting already. Little barracks in the middle of the map definitely will ensure that things are going to get a little bit hectic here. Particularly for Byun. I do believe we are going to get a Reaper out of that first barracks of his though, so we won't be too troubled with that, hopefully, unless he just sends it across the map, of course. A couple of interesting things could happen with that. Byun not sending any SCV across the map to scout, neither is Gumiho, to be fair, but it is important in these types of situations because you're not quite sure what you can and cannot do with this first initial Reaper, right? Can you go across the map? Can you go have a look around? You just need to sit back at home. Is that the best way to do it? It might be how Byun approaches this situation. Just tries to be a bit more defensive and then later on maybe try to get some more scouting done with Hellions and all of that sorts. Once the factory units are out also, that's an opportunity to get that done. Byun here, he's going to be fighting off against a Marauder carrying the concussive shell upgrade. Will be packing quite a punch. As soon as he catches one of these units of Byun, it could be quite a bit of trouble. Has to make full use of that high ground here, trying to keep those units safe. Oh my, he's going to be up against two Marauders. And look at that, command center on the low ground. That's a lot of money spent on stuff that could have been stuff there to stop you from dying against these two Marauders. Okay, in they come. Byun now probably in full panic. The two Reapers here, not entirely sure what they are supposed to do. Quickly setting up a Cyclone on the production tab. Let's take a look at Gumiho's base over here. Nothing that particular, but you will be able to get that command center running a lot quicker than Byun. I'm a bit surprised Byun hasn't cancelled it. I suppose he's just trying to buy time for those, you know, Cyclone units and a couple of Marines coming out as well. Trying to get things under control that way. Ooh, a very good lock on there from Byun. That Cyclone will be able to pick off that Marauder. A good attempt by Gumiho, but a slight misjudgments in distance. We'll be able to catch that Marauder. Of course, the second base for Byun is on the high ground right now, being produced kind of simultaneously as the command center of Gumiho. But that is, of course, on the low ground, so slight advantage there. Will it be enough? That's a good question. That is definitely a good question. Byun a little bit ahead on the factory units, of course, already having a siege tank out when there's only a single Cyclone for Gumiho. Gumiho, however, is getting himself the Cyclone upgrade here. He's adding in another barracks, so... Oh, no, never mind, I got confused. It's just the barracks flying backwards, of course. Ah, the humiliation. Yeah, alright, because that confused me. Like, why are you getting the Cyclone upgrade if you're not going mech? I guess he did get the concussive shell upgrade as well, as he's going for mech. Byun on the other side, still a little bit unclear whether or not he wants... I guess with the amount of Marines being produced right now, I'm going to assume that he wants to go for the bio. Also, he hasn't taken that second gas quite yet at the natural. So probably okay with the more heavy Marine-based army rather than the mech army, which would require you to get that second gas a little bit sooner. There it is. Third bases for both these players. Setting up shop, in it for the long haul. Not willing to let the ship go down without a fight. Maybe not willing to let the ship go down without trying to get your economy as high as possible. without your opponents killing you, preferably. Giannis defended this well. Yeah, I would say so too. That was a very good hold. Had the Cyclone out in time. Bought himself a lot of time with the command center. Just letting it sit there, not cancelling and just starting it up somewhere else immediately. Gotta be careful with your siege tanks here, with the Cyclones, of course. At the same time, you gotta be careful with your Cyclones here, with the siege tanks being on the prowl. Cyclones would like to get the lock on and then kind of hang around the edge over here. You could get the vision and tank a shot with the Hellion and then maybe take one of them down, but they're pretty close together. Cyclones and the Hellions, they do tend to die rather quickly against siege tank fire. Another Marine goes down, another one a little bit lower on the HP, might give more opportunities for this Banshee, although looking at this this part of the base right now, these Vikings should be the perfect answer to this. So far, it looks like Byun kind of forgot that he has them. Or he just doesn't want to show that he has them. Yeah, you think he forgot? You think he forgot? Maybe. Like, he was trying with his Cyclone and the Marines very well, but there you go. This is a bit of a siege up from Gumiho that Byun was not anticipating. And now the concussive shell helping out, cleaning up a couple more units, but Gumiho all of a sudden being the one to overextend. Right. That wasn't the cleanest engagement from either of them. That was a little bit. That was not top tier Terran there. You think he's hiding them? Yeah, maybe. Well, they got scanned now, so that's unfortunate. Is he just trying to get into an air army just that much quicker? Auto turrets on the top. We'll be able to deny mining there for a little while. The Vikings are going to shut this Raven down quite easily, though. Slabbity-babby. Take the rockets. You will have these rockets. And I will have my victory. Right, now, second chance to move out. There's still siege tanks there, but looks like Gumiho not really fancying his odds anymore. He's going to start to back off. Trying to target down a low HP siege tank from his opponent. Doesn't quite manage to do any harmful damage. Well, a little bit. It got in the orange. But I believe there's an SCV here with them, isn't there? At least I saw an SCV a bit earlier on. Oh, there it is. There's three of them. Did he forget to bring them along? Is that what happens? I keep just thinking people are forgetting their units, but I feel like at the same time, that must be wrong, right? These guys are insanely good at StarCraft 2. They wouldn't do that stuff. Right? Right, he's moving back. A couple of Vikings on the ground here. They're doing a really good job so far. This is going to be an actual threat for Gumiho. His third base already being delayed, of course, but not just that, now under actual physical threat. Trying to break the siege tank contain. It's gonna work out, but he's lost a lot of army for this. And he lost his third base. Now the SCV is being pulled, trying to combat these Vikings in hand-to-hand combat against machine guns. Whatever happens, Byun has the Maxim gun on his Vikings. That is... I don't know if anyone else is going to understand what I'm saying there, but... Maybe one of you there is also a die-hard fan of the Dan Carlin Hardcore History series. I don't know. Anyway, we're moving on forwards. There we go. That was kind of in the writing there for a little bit, wasn't it? The bottom left side, that's the blue Terran player fighting for the Shopify Rebellion. It is Byun. Top right side, that's a blue Terran. I mean a red Terran. I'm sure if I just continued onwards, half of you wouldn't even notice. I could have said there's blue minerals. But no, it's a red Terran. There we go. There's a bit of blue on the logo of his team, which is the Psystorm Gaming. Lovely team, lovely bunch of fellas. They have been around for eternity, haven't they? Quite something else. Quite a bit of dedication. I mean, hats off to those fellas. Anyway, here's the one and only Gumiho. The Towel Terran. The Towel Terran feels like he is right at home in Psystorm Gaming, I'd say. Right, they have that same kind of elderly respect amongst them. You know, that aura of respect, of elderdom. Or just experience, I should say, right? Not elderdom, perhaps. I might be taken the wrong way. Alright, so looks like pretty safe openings this time around. Both players going for the double gas with a barracks at their home base. One little difference here. Byun's still setting up his barracks at the front door, and Gumiho kind of setting up his buildings a bit further backwards. Meaning Byun is going to be a bit safer against run-bys of the sorts for anything, potentially. Could be Stim Marines at some point in time, right? Could be Hellions as well. Those Stim Marines, they still burn down a supply depot pretty quickly. It's not the greatest. But anyway, Gumiho has his advantage is that if there is ever going to be a siege somewhere around this area, he won't be losing his production facility here with a potential add-on on it and just slow him down incredibly, right? He'll just be able to keep on producing units and be fine that way. In a sense, right? You think you can already call out kind of the intentions of a player just by looking at the barracks placement in a way? Because if you're placing your barracks further backwards, does that kind of indicate that you want to play more defensively? I guess not, because it's building a starport over here. But yeah, if you build your barracks at the forefront, right, does that give a little slight indication that you're looking to send your army out forwards, hence why you need a wall, and you want to get more aggressive, so you hopefully will be able to keep the battle on this side of the field, meaning it doesn't really matter anymore that your barracks and your tech lab is over here, just kind of stranded if there ever does get a siege tank sieged over here. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Probably, yeah, who knows. But I like it. Alright, Reaper versus Reaper battle with a little Hellion fire in between. Gotta love it. The heat is palpable right now. It's streaming off the screen. 2 Reapers from both teams are going to be exterminated. And that's a little Hellion that's low on HP. That Widowmine right there. Going to be a hero. Yes, he is. That was that. That was that. Liberator will be coming in as the follow-up with that Widowmine. Yeah, he needs to recharge for a little bit. He does have the 2 Marines. It's going to be a little bit, but let's see how he sieges up over here. Oh, that's going to be a lot of lost mining time. Well, he has the 2 other Marines. That's big, actually. Having the 4 Marines instead of 2 speeds up that process quite tremendously. Another Hellion Reaper push from this side. I mean, definitely falling apart here a little bit of Gumiho. His attempts. Right, we've seen this type of push before. I believe normally the idea is that you get the Liberator into the main base. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. The tech lab producing stealth with the Banshee right there. He's like, you know what, let's try to make it work still. And it's just getting worse. But anyway. As I was saying, I forgot about what I was saying. We'll just continue onwards from here. Little Reaper Man shot down. Second base for Gumiho. Finally gonna start up the orbital upgrade. Looks like things are just a whole lot of trouble. A whole lot of trouble here for Gumiho. Once again. Oh, trying to repair. Come on, get them. Get them. Oh, the SCVs not doing their best, are they? Come on, SCVs, you can do it. Man, that's a shame. He didn't just lose SCVs, he lost mining time now as well. Oh well, he tried, but good targeting from Gumiho. Picking out all the SCVs, incredibly difficult to get the full surround repair on, and that way kind of getting himself some kills. Cool to see, cool to see. Bit of a tiny, I'm gonna press on this thing right now, battle. Hope you're ready for it. 2 Cyclones. Is that actually all of the... Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much all of the defense that is available here for Gumiho. There's going to be a siege tank set up. If this Cyclone goes down, it might be GG. Let's see. There is another Cyclone on the production tab, but it's quite a way off. The Widowmine gets set off as well. The siege tank. Alright. Too much trouble. That SCV pool, I think, was a really good call. Gumiho getting aggressive, not allowing that siege tank to set up where it wanted to. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Alright. Pushing on forwards. Byun here making a move further forwards. Another siege tank jumping into action. What is this? Gumiho going for the flank. I thought he's going to go for harassment, counterattack damage, but no, sir. Oh, that is... That's just it, isn't it? Wow! That Widowmine giving vision. Alright. With that set up, once again, we're gonna wait to see whether or not either of these players will make a deviation from the normally safe play. There is an SCV kind of frolicking around over here. That might be something devious in his mind. Intentions are ablaze in the heart of Gumiho. He will look no further, for cheesiness is on his path. As Byun beckons him to not. Don't cheese me. No, we'll be cheesed. At least a little bit. It's just 1 Rex, right? We'll have to see what he goes for. I mean, if he's going to go for the Marauder play again, I would be a bit surprised. It looks like it will just be double Reaper. Double Reaper still quite committed. It does take up a lot of that gas, right? That normally would be going into the factory unit, setting up your defense a lot more steady. Problem here for Gumiho is that he is up against a Terran player that went for the double gas, very quick factory, and is going to have most likely a Cyclone available to himself pretty soon. Byun does like to get those Cyclones out very quickly. Actually, that might help out for Gumiho here, right? Because he might skip the Hellion, and the Hellion is actually one of the quite an important step to kind of stop the Hellion or the Reapers from getting premium damage. Let me see. Let's follow these Reapers around, shall we? Got a little Reaper there in trouble. Trying to head back home to the candy store, but will not be able to get there in time. Gumiho sets up shop. 2 Reapers now onto the high ground. There is a Hellion in production. That's a good thing for Mr. Byun. Well, needs to minimize the amount of SCVs he's losing here. Already losing a couple of them. There is the Hellion now. Finally is taking part in this battle. Still requires a bit of micro as well, of course, to keep him alive. But he's doing well so far. 2 Reapers at a time, also being produced by Byun. I think he should be able to hold this off. He's lost 4 workers in total. But I think that might be within the limits that he's okay with. A slight contain with the bunker here. Won't be able to push past that for a little bit. Because he has the Hellions and the Reapers. Neither of them really do good damage against buildings. So this is a tough thing to break. As if there's only 1 Reaper in there. Of course, Byun cannot know that unless if he actually runs into the fire of the bunker, which is not something you want to do anyway. But well, let's see. Let's see when he goes to the breaking. He doesn't even need to right now. He can just wait for this command center to finish up, right? And then he can even wait longer for it to turn into an orbital like this. There's no rush here for him. So yeah, I do favor Byun's positioning here a little bit once again. Which is a bit heartbreaking for Gumiho, you know. He's trying really hard, trying to set up every time with a way that he's a slight lead in the initial game. Which might be a part of his mentality against Byun, right? Feeling like he needs to get himself slightly ahead in some manner. or else he just will not be able to do anything in a kind of an equal standing game, which is a shame. Right, little, I think it was an SCV scout right there. Yeah, it looks like it was. Either that or a Reaper was taken out as well before he got to see whether or not there is that second base now for Byun available. Gumiho gonna play it safe, keeping his cards close to his heart. There's quite a bit of aggression coming along for him though. That siege tank not looking all too happy with what's been happening with the red Terrans here on this side of the map. Good positioning with those Hellions and Reapers now, really threatening those SCVs. And this siege tank being able to participate in the destruction of the red SCVs here. Banshee is going to be counterplayed by Gumiho, just jumping in on that natural base. Might be a little bit too slow, although Gumiho is still holding on in his own base as well. Will be able to send in those SCVs. Now he's starting to do the damage with the Banshee. 3 SCVs have gone down here. The siege tank's been blown up as well somehow. I guess that must have been the other Banshee that came in. Ooh. Scan does make the Banshee fall out of the sky, but so does the Cyclone. Whereas high up in the sky it could be. This is some solid damage here from Gumiho now. This is really starting to add up. Gumiho is the king of Banshees after all, and he's showing it once again. Truly nobody on par with the micro of the Banshee as Gumiho. That is some very juicy stuff. Gotta be careful of that Raven. You don't want to lose that. Let's keep it alive. It's an 11 worker lead there. 11 worker lead when there's like 33, 44 workers. That's a big deal. Third base for Gumiho setting up shop. He's really struggling. He is gonna go for the barracks play as well, so I'm not sure. Have we seen him go for the bio just quite yet? The game's kind of shutting down relatively early on. We decided in somewhat of the earlier parts. Also due to Gumiho just getting really aggressive in those early parts of the game. Once again doing it right here. I mean, third base is looking pretty good for him here. Wants to get that sorted out, of course. Single Cyclone scouts the incoming attack for Gumiho as he marches across the top side. Will be able to protect his third base location in a way, this through pushing in this angle, right? But Byun not taking the bait. Continuing forwards into the main base of Gumiho. That looks rather unprotected. 2 siege tanks just in the middle of every bit of production facility imaginable. The SCVs being pulled, all of them now in a ginormous bath of blood. Oh, that was rough. That was rough indeed. Gumiho on the wrong side of town with his forces, not able to do something similar to the base of Byun, and Byun just